this episode of Will a Chicken Eat It, we're going to bring in an interesting mix. We have some Monterey Jack cheese with jalapeno, habanero, and Carolina Reaper peppers. Some people believe that if you feed chickens peppers, they can live on them alone, and that they'll actually eat them. From my experience, they'll have a few bites and tend to leave them alone, but they do really enjoy the seeds of the famous nightshade vegetable. I'm gonna go ahead and say now I eat this cheese. It is quite spicy. They do say right on the bag, it is hot. Next, we're gonna wonder. Now I have these. I ate half of the bag. I don't always enjoy them. I got them on a sale. These are salt and vinegar flavored pork rinds. Really hard to see. Salt and vinegar flavored pork rinds. I can have about a handful a week. That's what I've learned. Will a chicken eat it? And if it will eat it, does it prefer to peck after the rest of the cheese? Or does it prefer a fried pork skin coated in salt and vinegar? The majority of these chickens are of the breed Smoky Pearl. I do have one leghorn that you see right in front of you. She's an old gal. She loves food. She would eat ice cream and birthday cake if you put it in front of her. She was a part of my very first flock. You can see some of the coloration on this young hen here. Today I fed them a big batch of elderberry. They very much enjoyed it. Elderberry works really good for the pigmentation in their eggs. These hens are not yet laying. It also provides them with a strong amount of antioxidants to help keep their immune systems healthy and well. Alright, so pork skins are not a fan favorite. The roosters seem to think it's okay. The hens are after the cheese, they love the cheese. And I've heard controversy over should you feed your your poultry dairy products? Should you feed them meat? If you've seen chickens, wild chickens, not wild chickens, free range, true free range chickens, if they find a recently deceased animal, they will clean it up. Naturally so. Chickens do eat meat. Alright. Some people wonder, will chickens eat grass? I'm here to tell you, they won't eat as much as it looks like, but they will scratch it all away. So let's look. As you see, they step on the grass, hold it down, and rip small pieces off. Chickens are actually very intelligent when it comes to digestive health. And they choose not to overconsume things that cause them gastrointestinal discomfort. Unless it tastes too good, much like humans. As much as we like ice cream and birthday cake, too much of it tastes really good. All right. We're gonna have two more feedings on this session. I'm not sure how hungry they are. That was quite a bout of food plus their regular feed. I also noticed one of their water containers is flipped. I'll need to get them. Next we have some brown sugar maple sausage links, and they are staring it down. These come from a breakfast the other day. I had 5 left over out of a pack of like 20. That's okay. It's good protein, has good fats. I'm a firm believer, and I'm not sure of the science behind this, I'm a firm believer that chickens do need a good amount of fat in their diet. After observing them for many years, they tend to like fat, protein-rich foods over carb-loaded foods. And they'll very quickly go after cooked meat. Now, you don't want to give them too much cooked meat. Let them challenge each other for the bite. They'll all get some pecks in. I'll show you breakfast and sausages. Squish it over some cheese, make it a little bit flat. I always feed them. This is steamed white rice from a Asian restaurant. So I'll go fill their water up real quick. Can you enjoy? Alright, so while we were down there, I found a garden tomato. I'll tell you, chickens love tomatoes. Now, one thing I like to do with my tomatoes, if you have a free-range backyard like me, normally I don't let them get too wild. You have one that gets out and sneaks out about, gets in the area she's not supposed to. I like to take all my, ooh, they want it, tomato seeds. I can't show you because he's gonna grab it here. I take my tomato seeds, and right underneath you have some cinder blocks around their coop and their run. I take the seeds and I plant them into the cinder blocks. I actually just started this year. And then that way, next year, we'll get some hardy tomato plants going. We have some chicken wire next to it. This isn't quite chicken wire. We have some chicken wire next to us. I have some quarter-inch panel I want to put up around this base level. So if you decide to do something like this, I would definitely recommend that, so they can't peck through. I figured that out this year. It's the first time in this new environment. So here's the rest of the tomato. They will fight for it. And now if you guys have ducks, you have to make sure you have water every day. Every single day. They drink more water than a regular bird. They're not a fowl, they're a waterfowl. They live on water. They're made for water. This is a chicken coop where we're raising them, and they will be moved to a pond. once they're used to being domesticated. It's kind of hard to call it that way for me. You kind of want it to be wild. We don't raise our chickens for food. We raise them for eggs and to hatch baby chicks. So, and with our ducks, why not diversify your flock? All right, so next we have the steamed rice. So this came from our favorite Chinese restaurant. I don't eat white rice. It causes me gastric discomfort pretty extremely. The rest of the family does, but there's always a lot left over. So this is how we use it. And a lot of times I'll actually season it with the leftover soy sauce, sweet and sour sauce. I like to actually soak it in water. I didn't do it with this batch. That way it's full of water for when I put it in. When they eat it, their body's not really needing to compensate. And I think if humans are eating rice, they should also, for gastrointestinal reasons, eat soggy rice as opposed to this cooked, not waterlogged rice, because that's what causes me discomfort. It sucks water, and the starch causes it to stick to my gastrointestinal wall, and it probably does a lot of other people. They just don't understand that that's what's going on. And if you see this lady here, she would really like some. Yeah, they love rice. While it's not nutrient, it is carb rich. And they still need carbs like everybody else. We got a quite different angle here. Let's see if the camera will make it. And rice is pretty easily shared, except for you see that dominant rooster standing on top of the rice, and the next dominant rooster right behind it. They will dominate the territory, eat forwards, turn around, and get back in, crowding in line in order to get what really they could do without. We don't raise our roosters to be protectors. We also don't raise them to cull or harvest them. It is a, I don't want to call it a burden, but if you have too many roosters and not enough hens, it can make hens' lives very uncomfortable for obvious reasons. They want to eat all the food, take up all the space and territory, take the best stand on the perch. You can hear we have some chicks back there. And that was an example of somebody who knows how to drive their own car. But it is not fuel efficient, probably not environmentally friendly, probably not economical in all accounts. How many headers they're going to have to replace, it's based on their behavior. Now, except for the pork rinds, this was a very successful will a chicken eat it. And I think a chicken will eat pork rinds for the most part. These were actually salt and vinegar pork rinds, so a touch salty, a touch vinegary. But as everybody knows, when you have a handful of pork rinds, it's like, that's enough. If you eat a whole bag of pork rinds, you're probably going to be spending the next day in the bathroom for at least a few added up hours, or maybe 1 hour. I don't know. Just depends how long it takes you. God, ducks are awesome, aren't they? Just good looking birds. Well, that's awesome. This concludes this episode of Will a Chicken Eat It? Feel free to send in requests of what you would like to see our chickens eat. With that said, it's important that you hear we will not feed our chickens caffeine, chocolate, chicken, absolute no-go. Lemon and lime are said to be dangerous. They say citrus. Now, our chickens have eaten oranges and grapefruit, and I think I caught one eating one of the limes I threw in the compost. They say you're not supposed to feed them avocado, rinds, or seed, so we don't do that, but we will. You'll see later in another episode we'll do avocado. I think that's about it that we can't feed chickens. They say no onions and garlic, and I have to tell you, and flaxseed, I have to tell you, it's completely false. Completely false. Cooked, chopped. The eggs, they say taste different. They don't. Sometimes they even taste better, I guess, so they do, but they taste awesome. I also have some very secret chicken feeding techniques to bulk up your eggs' viscosity and create a heartier egg white. These are in the days to come as we continue to produce the series. Thank you for watching.
Uh-huh.